What's up, everybody, and welcome to Charge Sports, the official podcast of Oklahoma City Chargers, where we cover professional sports, esports, and college sports. My name is Bobby Robinson, or for everyone on socials that know me as CRG Bear. And today we have my co-host, Connor Anderton, formerly known on all his socials as X-Raid for many years. And we have a really good show today, guys. We're going to be discussing a lot of the big changes that happened in the NFL. I call it an NFL scramble because of how many different people have left their former teams and joined new squads. There is some huge talks about running back. This might be the running back season because of the hip drop tackle being completely banned in certain cases. That's good news for Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. I'm just going to mention those two. We're going to also discuss some esports topics. The esports topic is the Sentinels beating Gen G for winning their second VCT Masters Championship, being the only team within the esport to do so, winning two titles. Then we'll be discussing a bit about Atlanta FaZe breaking a 400-day Silver Surfer curse, as I put it, winning Major 2, beating Optic Gaming, which I was not happy to see. Now, Connor, we're going to dive straight into the NFL. How do you feel about what's going on with the scene of the NFL, including the hip drop tackle? Because I've been watching a lot of stuff, especially like Mike. I've seen some stuff on First Take. I've been hearing a lot of little things going on, popping up. And there's a lot of different opinions about the hip drop tackle being one. Brandon Marshall says he's happy to see it gone, but again, come on now. Like, I just feel like it feels like flag football in my opinion. But I'm not going to go too deep on it. I want your opinion on the scramble and obviously the ban.
I mean, you missed the most important rule change. Tip drop tackle is not even the most important. The kickoff rule is now totally different. So we're not.
That kickoff, I'm not so like. I know the rule change of the kickoff with XFL. I feel like it's a little,
It's
but
stupid.
I'm not against it. You know what I mean? Like, in theory, I'm not against it.
Like, let's line everybody up at the 20-yard line and smash. Like, no, I want to come at you like full head of steam, want to knock your teeth out. That was the point of the kickoff, is to get a kickoff return. Now you're gonna have no kickoff returns. We're gonna be stopped at the 20-yard line. It's a stupid rule. It defeats the purpose of these kickers booting it all the way back to the end zone. But no, the hip drop tackle, I mean, you're going to see a lot of broken tackles. It's going to make it's like touch football. It's like flag football, like you said. It makes no sense to me. Like, I guess we can't tackle now. Like, I mean, the guy is 230 pounds and he.
But here's the good thing about running backs. They might finally have their breakout seasons again. Liz, you have to think about it. The last time we've had an MVP running back was Adrian Peterson, 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we haven't seen the running back position be dominant as or even on an MVP level in a long time. So with this rule being in play, and then you see like big backs like Saquon going over to the Eagles, who is good with their offensive line, and you see Derrick Henry going over to Baltimore, who's good with their offensive line. These guys I'm not gonna say 2,000 yards, but damn, with this rule being in 2,000 yards. Like, we can probably see another Chris Johnson record getting broken with some of this shit that's getting brought in right now.
I mean, the form tackling used to be hit high, go low. Now it's hit for the legs, right? You always hit tackles going for the legs. That's where you go. Hip drop, all that means is you can't suplex him to the side, which is stupid because that's how you're supposed to get somebody down. So either A, you're colliding face to face, or you're colliding down low. You can't go for the hip, which makes no sense to me. So people are going to be you're going to drag a defender 20 yards with you? They can't go nowhere. So form tackling is you wrap up with your shoulder, right? You go for the shoulder hit, right? You can't do that in hip tackling. So I can't bear hug you as you go across that. So it's like, am I doing two-hand touch football? Like, no, I'm gonna run your ass right over. That's not cool. So all these linebackers who got max contracts to stop running backs are like, this shit sucks. But no, to your point, MVP that was a running back is Lamar Jackson. We have to admit he's a running back. He's a running back in a quarterback's body.
I'm not going to say that. I'll give Lamar Jackson every benefit of the doubt.
How many rushing yards did he have last year?
Yes, last year but you have to take into consideration.
How many did he have his MVP season?
Yes, but at the same time, he still passed for a decent amount of touchdowns. He
Okay.
still gave you
That's not the
over
question,
a
though.
thousand yards as a
How many yards did
quarterback.
he have? He had 1,500 yards of rushing. That was more than 22 NFL running backs. 2020.
I get that, but at the same time, naming him a running back when he has that arm it's he's a dual threat quarterback.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
All how it
Would you
is.
rather trust him with his legs or his arm?
Both.
That's not the answer to the question. You pick one.
I would say if I had to pick
Yes.
personally,
Mm-hmm.
I would choose his arm
Okay.
because at the end of the day, we know what Lamar can do on his legs.
Correct.
What he can't. And my biggest thing is the reason why I pick his arm is because of the fact that he's proven, because of the fact that he wanted to fight the critics who was saying that in early league that he couldn't fucking throw the ball. Excuse my language. And he's proven that he can throw the ball. He's proven that he could get a max contract with the Ravens. He's proven to that franchise because they wouldn't have paid him if he couldn't throw the damn ball. He would have left Baltimore just like Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco won him a fucking Super Bowl.
Okay,
I'm just
I
saying.
don't agree
I'm
with
just
that
saying. If
take,
he
but
couldn't throw the
continue.
ball,
I don't
they
agree
would
with
not
that
give him
take.
a max contract. They would not give him a max contract. That's what I'm saying. They would have gave him a contract, but they wouldn't have gave him a max deal at the time. He was competing with fucking goddamn Jalen Hurts for the biggest fucking contract that year.
I feel like
It's just like, come on, you have to give his credit. He's earned the title. If anyone has in NFL history right now, outside of Michael fucking Vick, he's earned the title as dual threat quarterback because he's proven that he's won the MVP twice and he's gotten recognition by the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. Say it less.
I agree
That's
with
all I'm gonna
that,
put down.
but my point is I trust him running more than I trust him throwing. Did we see what happened in the NFC Championship game this year? Did we watch the NFC Championship game this year? Who did they lose to?
NFC,
Who did they lose to? Who
they
walked
lost to
who
Zay
walked into
Flowers
Baltimore
for
and beat
dropping
them?
that damn ball at the end zone. I'm sorry.
How many yards did he throw for against one of the best teams in the NFL? At
I
home.
get it.
At home.
But here's the thing. You cannot tell me you do not trust his arm when he pinpoints passes to Zay Flowers, and Zay Flowers, instead of tucking the ball, gets stripped by Sneeds and fumbles at the 1 yard line.
That's
You don't tell me
not
that
Lamar
doesn't write
Jackson's
the
fault.
entire game. Zay Flowers scores, Baltimore wins.
I mean, I think to end the debate, personally, I trust him more with his legs. I think he's a much better quarterback. Michael Vick is a great comparison. He's not a lefty though. I would rather trust Lamar Jackson as running back one. Derrick Henry is a great addition to Baltimore, but with the offense they run, it's a different type of scheme. They're not really they're a run heavy scheme. That's why they had Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards jumped ship, right? All the running backs they need to run ship. They get a power quarterback who's 6'2" and a running back who's 6'2". They're trying to go for the power. They're trying to do what the Packers did in the early 2010s. Remember Eddie Lacy and Aaron Rodgers? They're trying to pound the football. Aaron Rodgers could not run the ball. Lamar Jackson can tuck that shit and go for 30. You know, me and you both know damn well that man can run for fucking 100 yards if he wanted to. There's nobody else in the league that can play like Lamar Jackson.
I'm not gonna go into to Lamar because it's not a Lamar conversation.
And it's not Lamar. I would agree. I'm not even a Lamar. I'm a Falcons fan. I'm just telling the truth.
What do you think right now? Because I'll give you mine.
Okay.
All right, let's get back on topic. I'll give you mine. What do you think is the top 5 biggest moves so far off in the NFL? This current free agent and offseason period. I'm not talking about last year. I'll give you mine. I feel like the number one for me has to be Saquon Barkley going over to a star-studded Eagles. Like it's already jam-packed, and then you bring in somebody who might be able to pound the football for the extra yards, and Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do it. Because we know Jalen Hurts can pound the football by himself, and he's great with his arm, in my personal take. So with him having someone in the backfield that he can rely on a little bit more, as long as Saquon Barkley can stay healthy, that's his biggest thing for me, staying healthy. Because if Saquon Barkley's on the bench, then he's no fucking good to the Eagles. No, excuse my language. Now, my biggest one, I feel like King Henry is going to change. Like, even though you might not see it, I feel like Baltimore, he's going to have 1,000 yards rushing. That's what I'm saying. I feel like with this hip drop tackle, how big he is, we've seen his legendary stiff arms over at Tennessee. We've seen what he's able to do in college. This man is notorious for running people the fuck over, and with this rule in play, that's 2,000 yards for that big boy. 100%. That's my opinion. It might be far-fetched as hell, but that's my opinion. Now, I'm not a Steelers fan at all. I hate Russell Wilson, but I give him his credit. This move over to Pittsburgh is probably the best move for his career. I don't think his schemes over at Broncos, underneath Sean Payton, or even the quarterback, the head coach that got fired over him. Fuck, I forgot his name. You can probably mention it.
You know,
I don't think Denver was the right system. Broncos country. I'm not going to mention that. I'm just no. Russ did what he did for us. I can't get mad at it. I can just be a bitter old man about him not passing it to fucking the best running back. I can go on for days, but Russ going to the Steelers might be the biggest move. But there's also another big move that I'll say in my fourth line is Justin Fields. Now, out of the two, I feel like Justin Fields might beat out Russell Wilson if Russell Wilson can't prove himself come the start of the season. If Justin Fields is doing what he needs to do and that offensive line can protect him, Justin Fields might be QB1 starting the season. Not might start the preseason, but starting the season. And that's a take and a half. But I feel like Justin Fields just didn't have a system around him with the Bears. He was running for his life. He had to do what he needed to do. And now with Caleb Williams off in the pick, Bears is trying to do everything to protect him because Caleb Williams has already mentioned, or his dad has mentioned, that he didn't want to go to the Bears. So my last one is Titans getting a star-studded cornerback who just won the Super Bowl in Sneeds. That, I think, is another big move. Now, maybe I missed out on some other ones because there has been some key values here and there, sprinkle, sprackle. But I feel like that's my top five. Let me know your opinion and then give me your top five when you think this is the biggest moves off in the NFL so far.
I think you named 2 big ones and 3 kind of micro ones. So
okay.
The biggest one so far of the entire offseason is Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta.
So yeah, I knew you was gonna say
Atlanta gets their quarterback after Desmond Ridder had a horrible season last year. We're not going to talk about that. We fire our head coach. He becomes the OC of the Steelers after replacing Matt Canada, who did not know how to fucking do anything in OC. That's why they got rid of their quarterback, and they had Kenny Pickett, who they traded. They believed in him. They had Mason Rudolph. He could not do anything, so that lets you know everything you need to know about that. So my first pick would be Kirk Cousins to my Atlanta Falcons, and then we got Darnell Mooney, another great receiver from the Chicago Bears. And we needed a slot guy to put next to Drake London with Kyle Pitts involved. Signed Kadarius Hodge, who's a backup receiver. Anyway, top 5.
Why do they list Kyle Pitts as a running back?
He's not a running back. Kyle Pitts is a tight end. Kyle Pitts is 6'6".
Was that a troll on the internet then? Because
Did you see any 6'7" running backs?
I'm serious.
No, this troll is getting in your head.
There was a picture of it saying that his name.
Bears learning the trolls. Bears listening to trolls, people.
Was it being BJ Robinson?
His name is Bijan Robinson. Yes. Bijan's fine. We have Bijan in our backfield. We have him and Tyler Algier. That's our 1-2 punch. But
wasn't he a receiver in college?
Bijan was a running back. Oh my god, he won the Doak Walker Award, which is the highest honor you can get for a running back.
Then I'm thinking of Marvin Harrison Jr.
He's a wide receiver. That's correct. Yeah. He plays for Ohio State.
That threw me off. All right, my fault.
So one would be him. Number 2 would be Danielle Hunter, leaving the Vikings to go to the Texans, including one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. Texans last year surprised me because they thought they were going to be awful offensively. C.J. Stroud had one of the best rookie seasons of any rookie I've ever seen. 4,000 yards throwing in a rookie year and making it to the playoffs. And a team that's been debilitated with injuries, going 10-6.
There's one person that I hate him.
Bobby, let me take my take. Let me do my take.
I'm going to give him his crown as the best rookie season is because the fact that he put on an 11-3 show and put Matt Hasselbeck out of business. Russell Wilson in his fucking rookie season, and he didn't lose at home until his second season with the Seahawks. Give it to him. Give him the crown.
You're just asking my top 5. I haven't even finished my top 5.
Sorry, bro.
So Danielle Hunter.
I'm sorry, CJ is top 2, but you cannot think about what Russ did.
I haven't even made the Russ yet. I think Russ is a bottom 3 move, and I'll tell you why in a minute. You're going to be like, what the hell? I'll tell you why. Number 3 just happened. I don't know when this podcast goes. Today is March 29th. And it's Hassan Reddick leaving his team and going to the Jets. Now you're going to be like, well, who's Hassan Reddick? Former All-Pro, former Super Bowl guy, great, kind of a linebacker edge. The Jets needed help. They need Jesus, and they need Jesus bad. They have had no quarterback for the last 3 years. They drafted a guy to BYU. They've been so bad, it's not even been funny. They're no offense, and I don't. If any Italian evaluators who have any sort of proximity to New York listen to this, y'all suck. Um, Y'all do not have a quarterback. You finally get Aaron Rodgers back. You're banking on a veteran who's been in the NFL for almost half my lifetime to work this year. Power to you. So I think Hassan Reddick going to the Jets is a huge pickup for them, and edge rush is what they needed. Now, I'm going to say this with all due respect. I think Saquon Barkley to the Eagles is a B- acquisition, and I'll back up with why I think that.
Good.
Saquon is injury prone. Derrick Henry's injury prone. So if you're the Giants, why not give him a max contract? Why give your quarterback a max contract but not your best running back? The guy's had 7,000 yards in 6 seasons. So what's something else is going on behind the scenes? I would give him a max contract. You want a solid running back who can get the ball and pound it down the middle of the hell yeah. They told me right away, Bobby, they don't want him. If the New York Giants were not willing to put the money into him, if Philly was willing to take that risk, if Saquon's healthy, bro, he's a top 5 running back in the league. He's a Christian McCaffrey. If he's not, they have no value. There's no value at all for that pick.
That's why it's like
you're banking on him being healthy. It's like Kirk Cousins for Atlanta. If he's not healthy, you're screwed. You're screwed. No offense. Yeah. I think they're a great team. Philadelphia is sound offensively. If you can't be healthy, you're just burdening yourself with more money down the chain. Like they're not going to care. So that's my third. Yeah, that's number 3. So Hassan Reddick, that's Saquon. Here's a pick that I like a lot more than people realize. It's Josh Jacobs leaving Las Vegas and going to Green Bay. Now, why do I say that? I think Green Bay was one player away from going to playoffs.
Personally, here's a little insider. I'm not trying to cut you off. I know Josh Jacobs in person.
Tulsa, Oklahoma native. I went to Alabama.
Played in high school during the times that I played for my East Central, and he still was a beast. So I know him in person. I actually seen him the last time I worked at a DG. He walked in my store in Tulsa last year during the offseason.
He's a great player.
Shout out to Josh Jacobs because he's
shout out Josh. You're a great player. Went to my boy. He went to my alma mater, Alabama.
I just wanted to say that because that's my boy. I always supported.
Josh
even though I'm not
player.
Supporting the team he's on. He's one of my players that's on that list.
Well, I would agree with you on that one.
Isaiah Thomas is another person that came out from here, so I'm just gonna shout out that Isaiah Thomas over on the Browns. Yes, sir.
I will. So the Josh Jacobs be number 4. They add depth. They get rid of Aaron Jones, which I was a little surprised by, but they're going a different direction. So they give Jordan Love finally someone he can give the ball to. They still need some receivers out there in Green Bay. I don't follow the Packers. I don't really care about them, but they're a good team. That's all I know. They're always going to be in the playoffs, no matter how bad you think they are. And then at my number 5, this is going to be a wild card pick because I realize that this team is in a rebuilding process, but they also want to go out. It's the Bears getting Keenan Allen. Now, you may be like, well, they got rid of Justin Fields. I know why they got rid of Justin Fields. I know why. They got rid of Justin Fields because they want to get Caleb Williams. They're willing to bank on getting the number 1 quarterback and the number 1 wide receiver in the draft next year. That's what they're banking on. So what that tells me, Bobby, is they don't care about the past. They care about the future. If they're not willing to pay Justin Fields, go get a guy who they think has got more upside. You're about to pay this guy more money you're paying Justin Fields. So you have to bolster your offensive weapons, bolster your offensive line, get a better coordinator. Matt Eberflus is a decent head coach. Chicago's okay. Get that defensive line, get that defensive secondary ready to go. Because trust me, bro, we know exactly how it was in college football. We talked about this about the Colorado podcast not even a month ago. If you can't play defense, you ain't going nowhere. You're going nowhere. You're going to get you're getting dropped 50 on you. I watched that Colorado State game that night. They dropped 50 on them. I watched that Stanford game. Me and you both watched the Stanford game. Stanford came back down 29-0, beat Colorado. We know exactly how it works. If you can't play defense, you ain't going to do shit. So,
bringing back nightmares. I
know. I understand. But I have to be honest. That's how the debates work. You got to be honest. But to conclude, I think what I read was that Russell Wilson is starting the year. And what I think they're going to do is that they're going to give him rest midway through the year. I don't know how they're going to play. I have no idea how that offense is going to work. I have no idea. Then they're going to get Justin Fields in, and then it's going to be like, why wasn't Justin Fields starting? But okay, I don't make the decisions.
Like I said, if Broncos country don't ride this season, he's gone.
He's going bye-bye.
I'm just saying, dog. Like,
there ain't no more words. Let's ride. It's more like let's save your contract because right now you're getting paid a lot of money to do basically nothing. To be a veteran.
Bro, you understand Denver had they dropped so much money to get rid of him.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I saw that salary. That was a lot of money. You went all in on one quarterback. Straight up. You're doing what we did with Kirk Cousins. You're giving him a bag. And guess what? He didn't do shit with that.
Well, at least Kirk Cousins had semi-decent seasons prior. Russell didn't have semi-decent seasons.
Not my fault that Denver decided not to play offense for 2 years. You had Cortland Sutton. You had Jerry Judy. You had whatever his name is, Kamar Hamlin. I forgot what his name's up there. Like you had weapons. Like Denver's not just stupid. They're not just gonna bend over and die. Like they had weapons out there.
Don't,
But
because how do you feel? And this is a little small one. I don't want to go too deep because we got two other segments. About the LA Chargers dropping all their talent with the new head coach coming in.
it's a good move. I think, and you tell me how you feel. Younger is always better. And I'll tell you very, very fast too. You need to have veteran experience to give them the chemistry and to get the locker room right. But that youth man, you saw with Zay Flowers last year. Like youth will dominate. They know understand the game. Me and you both know this. The younger you are and you have more knowledge, you get to play with the older players. They wiped house. They got rid of contracts they didn't need. Jim Harbaugh went into Los Angeles like, you know what? We're cleaning house. If you don't want to be here, we're not going to pay you money. Get the hell out. That's what he did. He got rid of 3 really good players. I'm surprised he got rid of Bosa or Mack. I'm like, your 2 best edge rushers. Like, oh my God. But that just tells me the Chargers are looking somewhere that's not forward, and I have no idea what to think.
I feel like like I said, with Harbaugh winning the national title at the college level,
I can't stand Harbaugh.
I can't either.
I'd rather stick my eyes in all of them.
Over at the Ravens, but I can't stand him.
John, I'm cool with. Jim, different story.
Yeah. But what the biggest thing that I can say with him, he personally knows some of the Michigan guys is going to be entering the draft. So I wouldn't be surprised that he doesn't select individuals that he's already worked with that basically borderline plug and play type guys for this Chargers team. And then on top of that, I do feel like even though he has a rookie quarterback he has in mind that he wants to potentially bring in, he already has a solid, decent quarterback already that just needs to stay healthy in an offensive line. So it's just like he's in a good spot to rebuild, especially at the quarterback position. I can't say maybe we see something drastic and he picks up some major pickups coming into the new season, especially with him releasing all of that money. He has a lot of money coming back.
There's a lot of salary cap.
You know what I mean? So he can be able to work with that. And then with him winning a national title, I'm not saying it really gives you any like ish for the NFL, but at the same time, like him having former NFL experience working with the 49ers, you see what I'm saying? And him having that experience going to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, and you know what I mean? There's going to be some guys that's going to be wanting to come over and work with them now that he's in charge. I just feel like he's not just have the young guys that he has, and that's kind of good for him because the fact that he's had that NFL experience, you know what I mean? So he can get some of the good veterans to come, you know what I mean? We've seen what you're able to do. But now that he's won a national title, now he has that plug in the college atmosphere. Now the young guys probably want to come work with him too. You know what I mean? So he has a little bit of leverage going into that, and I can see Chargers not in the first couple seasons making a real scamper, and maybe it'll shock me, but I do see them rebuilding solidly. In comparison, that's just my opinion.
I don't think rebuild's the right word. I would tell you right now, bold take, mark it down my own words, I made the playoffs this year. I don't think this is not a rebuild. This team is built to make it deep, but they need depth. That's their problem. They got rid of all the old guys. They said, you know what? If we can't, we're not going to pay you any money. Time for you to go. So they got rid of all the old people. Bring in youth. They have the best defensive coordinator, I think, in the NFL. They have a good offensive line. Justin Herbert, if he can stay healthy, bro, this team's dangerous. Like they're in a really bad division.
The playoff. I was trying to give them some credit.
No, they're not. I'm talking like this is not a Carolina Panthers situation. They're not trash. This team's actually pretty good.
Oh, I feel so bad for Bryce.
And I was going to mention that as one of my free agents moves. But that's not really a person. They boosted an offensive line a little bit, which was thank God because they're getting freaking pummeled every week. But that team needs Jesus, and they need God. They don't need Jesus. Jesus is like to save you a little bit. God's like to save you over the huge hump.
Alrighty. Oof. Let's go over to the next segment. It's going to be strictly esports from here. We're going to start off with a little bit. I want to congratulate Sentinels for their excellent run this season in the VCT Masters Championship, beating Genji, which was probably the first time, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I fully watched a Valorant event throughout the entire multiple days that it was running. It was in Madrid. It was very entertaining. It had up to 200,000 plus in most days of people watching, which is more than I've seen in most majors outside of League of Legends Worlds having like 1 million people watching it. Um, Honestly, I was rooting for Gen G. I'm not a Sentinels fanboy, but it was cool to see, them go to a game 5 and it coming down to, really the wire. I feel like Sentinels just gassed on the pedal once the Icebox map came up. But I'm not too much deep. I can't go over like statistics, player by player things, because I'm still very new to the Valorant scene. I'm not too sure if Connor has any expertise in watching it at all, but we just wanted to make sure that we mentioned what was going on. I do have a few notes that I wanted to highlight, but I will also roll some B-roll later in this evening. Later in this video. So, I am going to skip over to the other esport news that actually occurred. And that was something that me and Connor can really have a conversation on because we came from the scene itself. And that's FaZe, Atlanta FaZe, finally winning an event in 400 days, as well as beating their arch rivals in Optic Gaming. Now, I can say a few things about, what Draza has said. And in personal opinion, because it really doesn't matter if, what my opinion is, but I will state what I want to say on that end. But first, how do you feel, obviously, about all the big news, Connor, and your opinion on just the layout for where Optic goes from here? Because you paid all this money and you're still not seeing anything from it. Do you think do you think Optic needs to hit the panic button now because this is the second event, and they placed third the first event, they placed second the second event, or is this like, okay, we're cooling, we got this, we're getting in fourth? What do you think the Optic camp is like right at this moment, in your opinion?
I think it's somber, so I think it's good. Every second place is not a bad thing. People think second place is the worst thing. You made it to top 3, so you did something right. It's going back, reviewing film. This is like any other sport. You go back, review your videos, you review what you did wrong, you correct it, you do it, you go do scrims, you correct those in scrims, and you go from there. But this is only major 2. There's 5 majors. This is like, you're not even made an all-star break yet. So you make your small little tweaks. They don't need to bench anybody. You'll notice a lot of players got benched. I know me and you both see the timeline. People getting benched, people getting replaced. It happens, but I mean, these are coaches who spend every single day watching their players. They see what they didn't do right, what they did do right, what can they change. RC's got dropped. A couple of people from the different teams got dropped. So I'm not paying the panic button for Optic. Now, if this was Major 4, so like toward the end of the season, I would hit the panic button. Because I realize that now it's...
I give you something?
What's up?
This is as crazy as it sounds. Based on his performance, he might not just immediately, unless 100 Thieves look to sign him, RC is going to get picked up on an immediate roster. Now, there's other teams, Miami included, but let's be honest, RC is very selective on who he's going to go to, so he's not just going to bite on any pro offer.
I'm going to counteract that. What if you're...
No, hold on. Let me hear it. Let me hear me out.
Okay.
He's not going to go to any pro roster, especially if it's not looking to really build. Because I'm not saying he has that attitude. Alex is not like that, but at the same time, he's wanting to compete as well. So hear me out. If there's no team that pick up Alex come Major 3 qualifiers, we go into Major 3, Optic yet to perform. I feel like Hex hits the panic button, benches Dashy, and brings RC back to the roster.
This man just said Dashy with a straight face.
Yeah, Dashy with a straight...
Oh, man, you would want to cause the entire timeline to fucking implode.
If not, what, you gonna say fucking Kenny?
Oh, God, no. I don't think they bench anybody. Remember,
by the third event, if Optic doesn't perform, you don't think they need to hit the panic button?
No. I have to respectfully disagree with that. That would be like Michael Jordan leaving the Bulls and go to the freaking Utah Jazz. No, that's not gonna happen. They've already had RCDs, every COD in like the last 10 years. They had him in for MW3. They had him for Modern Warfare. How many CODs do they have him for? Like the last 8 years he's been on Optic 4 times. Why would he come back? They're not going to pay him. Why'd they drop Illy so bad? Why'd they drop Hugh? You had 3 great players with Optic. Why would they just leave? That doesn't make any sense. No. Optic to me needs to get their stuff together when it comes to clutch. They're not clutch to me. They get too frantic. They get too Dash to me is one of the most underrated players in the CDL. Yes, he has his maps where he's playing like he's shooting robots, like he's shooting 8-balls. Like it just shoots like this, it doesn't shoot straight. But again, Major 2, FaZe finally broke the streak, but FaZe is a good team. That pickup of Draza was a sneaky good pickup. I think Draza, despite him and his, we don't need to talk about that, but we know what I'm talking about with Draza. The man's a hoo-hoo in the head. But, like, I guess to conclude, Optic needs to figure out what they got to do better in S&D, how they can get their spawns control and hard points and controls, and move forward. Like, this is only Major 2. If this was the halfway point, if this was the All-Star break, different scenario. RCS is not going to leave to go to, he's not going to go to Miami. They don't need him in Miami. He's going to go to the bench, go back to the challenger scene, he'll mature a little bit, get a little bit better, come back in, Major 4. I'll predict it right here on the podcast. They'll drop him now. Seattle will pick him up. Gunless will get put in his spot because they're testing out Gunless as a trial period, which they've done for CDO. He gets benched again. They bring back in Arcides. I'm going to call this right now. Call me fucking crazy. I don't care. Excuse my language. Seattle gets top 6 at the next event.
Okay.
And you're going to call me, you can call me whatever name. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. I'm telling you right now, when you replace one player with them, it's everything.
Do you think it's physically at this point?
I have him stunned. See this podcast? I have Bobby's speech. He doesn't know what to think. See, you never hear Bobby stunned when he just doesn't have, when he's got nothing in the head. He's just like, he sits there like, yeah, probably.
Nope. I'm not,
There's just nothing. That's hilarious.
I feel like Carolina would most likely break top 6 before.
Ooh! All the Rebel fans just came crazy in this podcast. Oh,
yeah, like what do you mean? I'm gonna go.
Oh, I like it. He said Clayster's gonna emerge with TJ Halley. Okay, I see you.
Yeah,
wow.
That's that. And then you forgot LAG has been showing up a little bit. I
forgot about LAG. Okay.
So it's just like
I have Seattle Surge, and you have.
You said Seattle over. Like, come on now.
I said Seattle top 6, not even top 8. I said past the 3rd round.
You said Carolina. You said top 6. Like in my opinion,
love it.
Right now.
I love it.
Right now, my top 4. If we're going off of current,
okay.
Right now, it's going to be FaZe, obviously, because they just won event.
That makes sense.
I'm going to put, and I'm an Optic fan, but I'm going to put Toronto at number 2.
I would agree with that.
3, I will place Optic because Optic has been beaten by Toronto and by FaZe in 2 different events.
I 100% agree so far.
So I'll put Optic at 3. Okay. At 4, I would say Subliners.
Ooh.
Subliners at 4.
Ooh, wow. Okay, I was not expecting.
The world champions at 4.
Ooh.
At 5, I would say I put Carolina.
Oh man, that's tough.
6.
Oh, you're going. Oh,
6
no.
At this point.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's 6. I will put LAG. 7 Seattle, and then the rest you can go ahead and fight for.
Oh, he's getting frisky.
Like, because you think about it, Miami hasn't been playing too good this year.
Miami's horrible.
They have LA Thieves. I hate to say it, has not been playing too good this year.
They're poo. You could just say it on this podcast.
Minnesota Rocker has not been playing good. Vegas Legion hasn't been playing too well.
So we're gonna put that tier. We're gonna do that Champions League. We're gonna drop those.
The last bottom issue.
We're gonna push those out. That's our Champions League. Get your ass out of here.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just it hasn't been too good for them at all. And that's like I said, that's why I said top 6 is really pushing it for Seattle, because you think the top 4 is getting it can fight either way. You have the former world champions, and like Hydra was popping off.
Oh yeah,
like you understand how many he was putting Optic through a blender, and Optic still won against them. So it's just like you can't count Seattle out. Not Seattle, Subliners out. So you think about it, and then the way Carolina just showed up on land. Come on, now. That team's looking good, and with them all moving together and going to be playing together based off of that interview that Fellow had with Clayster, like, come on. that team is expected to be better because now they're going to be cinched, they're going to be locked in, they're going to be practicing together, all in the same connection,
Mm-hmm.
no issues. So that's just my opinion, though. Like I'm not, regardless of the situation, I do think Arsenal still has a place within a top 4 team.
I would agree.
Like that's something that you put him on any good team. Like I'm sorry, put him on any top 4 team and they're winning a fucking event outside of Optic itself.
I'm gonna give you a trivia question before we finish this.
Go ahead.
Arsenal has placed top 2, and more specifically number 1, with what 2 organizations in his career?
Top 2 and 1.
Let's go with number 1. He's placed first place with 2 organizations. Which one are they? I don't care about the top.
First place in 2 organizations. He placed with FaZe and E United.
Do you remember the E United roster?
Yes, it was him, Silly, his brother, as well as Clayster. They won a world championship together.
Missing one other player.
No, was it Simp on that roster too? No, fuck.
Simp was there. You're missing one player.
Fuck.
You're missing
no,
one.
Remember, got dropped, right?
It was 5 players.
Oh, it was 5. It was Pristini, Simp, Clayster, fucking Silly.
Nope.
Silly was
not Silly.
Silly wasn't on that team. No, hold on.
He's a current player in the CDO.
Hold on.
Wait, don't think about it too hard. Think about Atlanta right now. Think about the FaZe.
Tiny Terrace? BZ? Hey, BZ? Yeah, I forgot. That was
BZ, Simp, Pristini, my boy Alec Arces, and Clayster.
Yeah.
On Black Ops 4.
BO3, United.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Wasn't it BO3?
That would have been in Black Ops 4.
BO4, yeah.
That would have been in Los Angeles at the Anaheim Convention Center when Dr. Disrespect got on the stream. And
like I said, I remember because it was the last.
You had it right. You had Silly correct, but they dropped Silly. This would have been in World War II. Because he went to go.
I had Silly at one point in time. I just fucking didn't remember the. I was just like,
shit. I remember playing Silly in those freaking World War II rank play matches. That was a beast. But
because at the time when they did have Silly, it was Clayster, Silly, and the Twins.
Yep, that's right. And they picked up a guy from Challengers named BZ, and they decided to drop Justin Fargo Palmer, which is Silly, and they picked up Clayster, and the rest is history. This was that was the would make you feel really old. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I would.
As well.
Let me mention my age on this podcast. That's not a good thing.
We went over some things. I'm sorry I couldn't go into too much details on the Valorant side of things. I am learning the scene now. We're picking up a Valorant roster over at Oklahoma City Chargers. There is some big things that's happening over at Oklahoma City Chargers. Your boy has been invited by DreamHack again to be coming out as a creator. So we'll be going out to Dallas. I will be live throughout that. I'm also going to be going live from here on out on Twitter. Now, I know that's going to be some new things, but I'm seeing a lot of people doing that, and they're getting some, high-end numbers here. And, your boy have a big audience on Twitter. We're definitely going to be playing some FIFA. We're going to be playing some sports games. Me and Connor is going to be doing some old men of Charger shit.
You just called me an old man. You just called me an old man of clear enemy. To my face.
Old man of clear enemy days.
What in disrespect?
Like we're gonna create a ladder fucking team, one fucking cock. Cause I'm gonna re-download it tonight. I'm gonna grind my ass to fit. We're gonna do either ranked, and we're gonna have an XP ladder, and we're gonna go on a fucking 100-0 spree if we don't run into hackers.
You know what? I will hop on call with you.
We have to bring back
okay. You know what? That is fair. I will do rank play with you, and we'll do the old men of clear enemy. That works.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That will work.
That'll be fun. Fucking get Eric off in here and call Andrew. God damn it.
I have not played COD in like 3 months.
I haven't touched it either, so it'll be funny. Be some good content. You guys will see some stuff because I really want to start being live a little bit more. And check us out. We'll try to be having a panelist desk. Hopefully, I'm going to be applying for one. But check us out at DreamHack Atlanta. Myself, another owner, Infamous, is I'm gonna get slapped saying that. Because I didn't say her name right, so I'm gonna get slapped I'm gonna get slapped saying that. But I apologize, Steph.
I'm sure.
Anywho, you're going to catch both owners at DreamHack. This as creators, you can come stop by. We'll be probably streaming in one of the creator hubs. But yeah, like that's the end of the show, guys. I appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will try to be back next week if travel times for everyone is good. If not, you'll see us when you see us. We will try to get an episode out as soon as we can. We appreciate everything. I hope you guys enjoy the show. We will be inputting a lot of the new B-roll and stuff off in the upcoming episodes, and I expect some new apparel to be dropping soon and some new members coming from Oklahoma City Chargers. So that's all I got. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Peace.